It's been a few months since I officially concluded my vocational career serving congregations. It was last September. There's a lot of aspects that I don't miss about the routine of being a parish pastor, but the one aspect that I truly miss is the interaction with people. The opportunity to be in dialogue, to listen to stories, to connect and think and challenge one another about life and perspectives and navigating life as it is. Well, it wasn't too long ago I had the opportunity to visit with a past parishioner, and we had a good discussion, and one of the things that tweaked in my head was this person's use of a number of times referring to everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. As a person in the Western culture, I understand that. There are reasons for most everything. However, I think at times we look at that and think there's got to be some overriding, overarching purpose. Well, I want you to think about that, and we'll talk about it some more. Hopefully you've had a little time to think about that idea that everything happens for a reason. I want to share a bit of my own experience with you because that's what I live out of, because that's how I put things in perspective. In 2001, I began working as a chaplain for a healthcare system in this area. And in 2013, my employment with that same system came to an end. Yeah, I was getting a little tired, wanting a little change, but I wasn't the only one who made the decision. Part of it was there was a need for more productivity, and I was told I wasn't being productive enough, and I wasn't seeing enough people, and a variety of different things. And part of it is I wasn't being compliant to some of the changes they wanted to make. And so things came to an end. Did it happen for a reason? Oh yeah, many reasons. My own reasons, the people who were in charge reasons. So what was the reason that happened? Well, at the time, it was pretty, I had a lot of feelings and emotions about it because it was difficult being unemployed and not quite knowing what I was going to do next. Well, part of it is I then got connected with a person and I began learning the trade of window washing. Well, I still do some window washing now. I'm no longer working for that same person who taught me the trade. So was the reason to learn to wash windows? I don't know. There are different seasons in our lives and different experiences in our lives and different perspectives from different people to look at the same event. So is there one particular reason that things happen? I don't think so. However, what I do think is important is that, yes, we consider things, that we turn them around in the different seasons of our lives and the different seasons of what goes on to see how that impacts us and what insights can we gain from that. Because I think we live too often in the idea that there's going to be one reason, and if everybody can agree on the reason, then we can sort out why something happened. Or then we analyze everything. And as somebody once said, we have the paralysis of analysis, where we keep analyzing things to come up with a particular reason. And time marches on, and maybe the reason we come up with isn't the right one. Maybe it's right for the time, or it's right in looking back, which we often do. We often look back and say, that must have been the reason. If you want to look at Scripture and the stories of the Hebrew people, did they know the reason for what happened at the particular time it happened? No. They're trying to understand it, look back on it, see it from a particular perspective in a season of their life. So anyway, I enjoyed the dialogue with this friend, and I look forward to more dialogue with this person. But I hope you look at your own lives, that we think about why do things happen, and look at the seasons of our lives and say, what can we learn? How can we broaden our understanding and our appreciation for the things that happen? Doesn't mean they're all good, but we don't have to judge them as good or bad. We can look at them and just say, oh, that might have been part of why that went on when I look back on it. That might be what informed me for how I deal with today's things. So once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and keep moving through the seasons of life.